So very, very cool, and again, appreciate that. But eventually, Frederick Osbo gets the win and advances on to the Rockstar Energy Drink. Top 32, Frederick Osbo gets the win. Here we go, James Deane, speaking of another three-time champion, James Deane, but he is piloting this AutoZone Mustang RTR Spec 5 FD. A brand new ride for him, only the second event he's ever been in, and he was driving the wheels off this thing, but he's going against Trenton Beechum. He's got a new ride, he's got a new speed. This Blonex, next in tires, BMW, massive angle there from him. Backs it in, massive angle, look at Trenton Beechum. He was right there all up in that smoke, in that second outside zone. And that second inside clip, I mean, James Deane is driving this like he's driven it his entire life. People would dream about drifting like this. And this is his second ever event. He looked like, I mean, he looked like Vaughn just driving behind the wheel. No, no offense to James or Vaughn, but I'm just saying it looks like he's driven it his whole entire life. Well done.
So the amount of angle running through inside clip 1 was pretty great here. Trenton in chase position, can't match the angle, straightens up, coming by that touch and go area and goes pretty much straight there up in outside zone number 1. James does not fill outside zone number 2. Another driver unable to get up there and fill that zone. He got right to the inside line of that zone, gets the bumper hanging over the touch and go. Does a great job at inside clip number 3. But that was a great drive from James Deane. Very high energy, lots of throttle usage, big angle everywhere. And you can see in the chase position there that Trenton Beechum was a little bit behind on everything that was happening, right?
Yeah, just on initiation, he's like, whoa, what's going on here? Like, holy cow. The amount of angle, it seemed like, and keep in mind, James Deane is the first ever right-hand drive 2024 Ford Mustang RTR. That's what's cool, too. They built that specifically for him.
Just for him, right?
Yep. Yeah, so it seemed like he was just backing that thing in, and Trent's like, wait, you're on the wrong side. Oh, no, you're on the right side for yourself.
A little bit better now. You're on.
Okay. All right, throw it down to the red. Nicholas with Chris Forsberg.
We were just talking about Road Atlanta and how treacherous this course can be, and you are unfortunately experiencing some issues this whole weekend. So what's going on?
Oh, not necessarily this weekend. Just what we've been experiencing is just a change of track temperature, right? So we were feeling really good on our practice before qualifying, and then we could roll into the night, and the track tightened up, and we qualified kind of mid-pack because we weren't able to get into that upper keyhole. But outside of that, the engine's running very, very well. We did have a failure in 32 in Irwindale last year, and then Long Beach, but I think we kind of found a solution to it. The car's running 100%. We're just giving it a quick once-over as we're moving into top 16.
Okay, and you also said that in qualifying you were running your hot weather setup. Did that cause a few issues?
Yeah, so because we were kind of early to run in the dusk, the track was cooling off. We didn't think it was fully cooled off, and we didn't put our nighttime setup, kind of loosen the car up a little bit. So we ran our warm setup, and it was just a little too tight going up that hill, and that's what kind of got me to miss that keyhole. And so just those little things, especially on this track, make such a difference for taking it to the podium.
Perfect, Chris. Thank you so much. Jared Ryan.
Thank you so much, Lorette. Thank you so much, Chris Forsberg. We'll see you in the top 16. Different setups. And now we're seeing James Deane scrub his tires real quick. Trenton Beechum on the start line. Trenton Beechum, new build. LS under the hood of the BMW is running the LS under the hood of the Mustang. Now he's parked the Mustang and said, hey, let's throw this under the hood of this BMW. James Deane chasing down Beechum. Welcome back, James Deane, to Formula Drift. Trent Beechum coming down the hill. Little straight line approach, handbrake in that first clip. Now coming up the hill is Beechum, James Deane on pace. Into that second outside zone. How do they manage? Oh, look at that. James Deane, a bit of a hookup, diving in on the inside. Having some issues there is James Deane. And James has an issue from that outside zone too. What went wrong? And that looked independent. That did not look like, I don't know, did Beechum throw him off? I really don't think so at first glance.
I don't think so either, Jared. It looked like either a misshift potentially or some kind of hiccup in the car that caused him to not be able to get back on throttle. He didn't have the power to put down there, and he ended up quite a bit inside. It looked like potentially 2 tires off in that keyhole, that grass teardrop, as you called it earlier. So on initiation, both drivers looking good. Trenton did run over that inside clip, but right here is the big situation, the big error from James Deane right there. It looked like the car stalled up in a very serious way, and he managed to keep it at angle by, if it was a shifting issue, he managed to jam it in gear and get back on throttle, but all of his momentum was gone by that point, and he wasn't able to continue around the teardrop, so he ended up on the inside. This drone view here will give us the best view of what happened. So look at the momentum, the pace that James is carrying, and the car just slows down. That was 2, potentially 3 tires on the inside on that teardrop. And if that's 3 tires, that'll be an incomplete. And you can couple that with the incomplete from BEECHUM on his lead. That's 2 incompletes in the chase position, which would force us to revert to just looking at the lead runs.
So Ryan, assessing that, it does seem that he did have 3 tires off, so that would essentially deem James Deane an incomplete. But BEECHUM had an incomplete on his chase run as well. So we always say lead versus lead, chase versus chase. Obviously, who had a better lead when they led, who had a better chase when they chased.
Yeah. So in this situation, we're looking at 2 incompletes from the chases. We revert to the leads only. We can't look at the chases because they both had incompletes there. And looking at the leads, you're analyzing who put the car better positioned on the track. So let's look at the BC Racing side by side and look at the initiation. James Deane's chasing leading on the left, and on the right you see Trenton BEECHUM. So both drivers coming up the hill here pretty well. Both looks like James is a little bit deeper in zone number 1. Trent did a great job in outside zone number 2. Coming down the hill, looking at positioning here, it's kind of hard to see through the smoke. We did get a little glimpse of what James Deane did on the touch and go. He did a good job there. Couldn't tell with Trent because there was too much smoke, but we're going to have to see what the judges all chose.
The other judges. You are a judge too, by the way, Ryan.
I already have mine in. I don't know what they did.
All right, so again, lead versus lead, chase versus chase. Taking a look, James Deane, Trenton BEECHUM, and it looks like James Deane gets the win. James Deane gets the win, and we talked about, again, both of them having mistakes, incompletes on those chase runs.
Well, a bit of a wild one against Trenton BEECHUM due to a misshift. What happened?
Yeah, so we did our lead run. I was feeling really strong. Felt like we had quite an advantage from talking to my spotter. And then I was like, right, let's just do a nice calculated chase run, try to be exactly where we needed to be, not to get, lost in the smoke being too far back or not mess up by being too close. And I felt like everything was going really nice until I was coming into the keyhole. I went for a drop from 4th gear to 3rd gear. I missed a shift and it was in neutral. I pushed again to try to get it again. It still didn't go in. And then I just started hammering it. I got some gear, I think it was 2nd gear. Then I was on the back foot kind of then for the rest of the run. So definitely a sketchy, intense moment, but glad to be by that one.
James, thanks so much for your transparency. Guys, back to you.